Hello everybody, this is Jerry from Ed Equity, and today I'm going to be teaching you about an important concept in Algebra 1 called slope-intercept form. Now we have learned various topics or stuff about slope before, but we have not learned what specifically is a sloped-intercept form. And basically, a slope-intercept form is a specific form of linear equations, and it has the following structure: y equals mx plus b. Now this is the form for slope intercepts, and here m and b can be any two real numbers. For example, these are linear equations in slope-intercept form. Y equals 2x plus 1, or y equals negative 3x plus 2.7. Both of these equations are considered linear equations in slope-intercept form. And these equations are not in slope-intercept form. 2x plus 3y equals 52, and y minus 3 equals 2 parenthesis x minus 1. These equations are not in slope-intercept form. However, besides being neat and simplified, the slope-intercept form's advantage is that it gives two main features of the line it represents. So first, the slope. M is the slope. Okay, M equals the slope, and the y-intercept is at 0, b. So these are the two things a slope-intercept form tells us: the slope, which is the m, and the y-intercept, which is the b, or at 0, b. For example, y equals 2x plus 1 has a slope of 2 because m equals 2, and a y-intercept at 0, 1 because 1 is the b here. And the fact that this form gives the slope and the y-intercept is the exact reason why it is called the slope-intercept form in the first place. Now this is quite an easy concept, so let's just do a few practice problems with this. So what is the y-intercept of y equals negative 3x minus 2? And here, remember what we said about b being the y-intercept. Here, b is negative 2. So the y-intercept will be at 0, negative 2. What is the y-intercept of y equals 4x? Now, this question is a bit weird, and you have to do a little bit of thinking because you do not see a b there, right? You only see 4x. So essentially, this equation is in the form of y equals mx. And b is 0, so y equals mx plus 0, which means the y-intercept will be at the origin, which is 0, 0. Number 3, complete the equation of the line whose slope is negative 2 and y-intercept is 0, negative 8. And remember, y equals mx plus b, and m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So it tells us here that the slope is negative 2, so m equals negative 2. And it tells us that y-intercept is negative 8, so b equals negative 8. And you write that and you get y equals negative 2x minus 8. Let's try one last problem and we'll move on to some word problems. What is the slope of y equals negative 4x minus 3? Again, here m equals negative 4, and m is the slope, so the slope here is negative 4. Now again, these questions are quite easy, so let's do some word problems. So first, Andre wants to fill a glass tank with marbles and then fill the remaining space with water. W represents the volume of water Andre uses if he uses m marbles. And the equation can be given that W equals 32 minus 0.05 n. So the question is, what is the volume for each marble? Now you can think about this for a second and pause the video, and I'll solve it right now. So the volume of each marble is the relationship's rate of change, which in linear relationships is represented by the slope of the graph. And the equation y equals 32 minus 0.05 n is in slope-intercept form, and it can be written as y equals negative 0.05 n plus 32, where m equals negative 0.05 and b equals 32. This means that the slope of the graph is negative 0.05. And a slope of negative 0.05 means that each marble reduces the needed amount of water by 0.05 liters, which means the volume of each marble is 0.05 liters. Okay, let's try another problem. So a paintball court charges an initial entrance fee plus a fixed price per ball, and P represents the price, the total price, as a function of the number of balls, which is represented by the letter n. And the function is given that P equals 0.8 n plus 5.5. So the question is, what is the price for 10 balls? So again, the number of balls times 0.8 here is the price for the number of balls. And notice that I said it charges an initial entrance fee, and the entrance fee here is the y-intercept. The entrance fee here is 5.5, and the number of balls times this number 0.8 will be the total price, and we can this implies that one ball will cost $0.8. So what if it's 10 balls? What if n equals 10? Simply do 0.8 times 10, which gives you $8 for 10 balls. However, it does not include the entrance fee because the problem says to not do it. However, if you were to include the entrance fee, then you would have to plus $5.5, which gives you $13.5 in total. But the answer is $8. Let's try another problem. So a charity organization is having a fundraiser, and P represents P equals 70n minus 1500, and P represents the fundraiser's profit if n tickets are sold, and a negative profit means the expenses exceeded the income from tickets. So what are the expenses of the fundraiser? You can pause this video to do it on your own. So, what are the expenses? This means that before any tickets are sold, all we have is expenses. which means that the value's expenses are equal to the value of P when n equals 0. Because when there are expenses, that means no tickets are sold, so n equals 0, and we just have to plug it into the equation, and we get 1,500. So the expenses of the fundraiser is $1,500. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something. We learned how to interpret the slope-intercept form and how to solve word problems using it. And again, be sure to check out our website at Equity to access more free content like worksheets and quizzes. And anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.